So, okay. So what we wanted to talk about tonight was how to get your team members started. And what I want, let's see here. This is a really fun lesson because what I have found with a lot of companies is there's kind of this common thread. They say, okay, go make your list of whatever it is, 30, 50, 100 people, and then go tell them about your product. Or go talk to them on Facebook about this. Okay? Would you agree that that's kind of the common way of getting people started? Yes, no, maybe. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you tell them anything else different, Wendy and Rochelle?
No, not really.
Okay. And so what I have found is that sometimes people are just vibrant and they talk to people really easy and they have lots of friends and lots of people on Facebook and they get rolling and it's not too bad. Now and then, do you ever have people who get started, they share it with a couple people, or maybe they're really, really scared to share it with hardly anybody. They get a couple no's and then they just kind of freeze. Or maybe they have an experience where somebody's like, what are you doing? Or maybe they were not very supportive and then they kind of shut down. Okay, so that's what we want to give them is some other tools to use so they don't shut down. Every company so far I've ever met, what they're telling me is they don't have a really good system for teaching people how to go out and tell their first customers about the product. And how do we do this without coming off like salespeople? Or sometimes, there's those people that they get that kit and they're so excited and they just want to wrap everyone and they're overly enthusiastic. So sometimes that comes off more like a salesperson than we want it to. So all those things happen, not for every single person, but they're things that happen. Would you agree? Is that sometimes an issue? Okay.
Totally.
Right. Totally. Yeah. Okay. So what we want to do is really, really train people that the first thing we want is to help them understand that if you don't want to feel like a salesperson, the best way you can do that is to get the other person talking. Because when the other person's talking, they feel connected to you. We want to find out about them. We want to be really curious, and we're going to give them some key questions to ask so that when they do share about the product, they have a direct connection because you have this or you want this and we have this. This might be something you want to try. Instead of just, we have this and this and this and this and this, don't you want to try any of it? That's more the traditional way, okay? Tell them all about it. Tell them how excited you are. Tell them your success story. Well, I'm just going to tell you straight out. I want you to think about this for a minute. How much, if you were to weigh, do you care more about the other person's success story and their weight loss or their fermenting tiding or whatever works for them? Or do you care more about whether or not it's going to work for you?
For me.
For me, right?
Yeah.
We want to know it's going to work for us. So the intentions are 100% pure. When you're telling them about your success story and you're telling them about the product, I know your whole goal is, hey, they might need this, so I got to tell them all about it so in case they need it. But what we can do is we can find out if they need it first before we tell them about it, and then we no longer come off like a salesperson. We totally just come off like that person who you already are is just someone who really cares about people and wants to share with them this product you're really excited about. And when you ask these questions, you will get to share it with more people, okay? That's the first thing because more people want to listen. You'll get better repeat business because we make sure we got what they really will use and it's not so much an impulse buy. And then the third thing is you'll get more referrals. Anyone just hate getting referrals? Okay? So those are some of the cool things that happen. Say again, Rochelle?
I said it's only the worst thing ever.
The worst thing ever when business comes to us and we didn't ask for it, right?
Right.
All right. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to teach them that the most important thing we can do is get them talking about them because the number one word used in the English language 400 times more than any other word is the word I, right? Okay. So let's talk about questions. So, okay, and I will change this I should have changed this agenda. Did you tell me this when we looked? Maybe I didn't send this to you first, so I'll remove the word shrink. But which part of your body would you like to tone, tighten, and firm? Okay. We want to ask, and the new question I just come up with today isn't on here yet, but how do you and your family fit in 5 fruits and vegetables a day? And like I said, whenever we can keep something more relatable and generic, it keeps the conversation open more than if we are to say something that's kind of extreme. Like I love this one trainer, and she said, I would kind of tell my story that I had 3 children and this was a great fit for my life. She happened to sell Pampered Chef. She says, but if I instead told people she had a 1.5-year-old, and when that child was 1.5, she had twins. So she had 3 children under the age of 2. Okay. She says, when I tell people I have 3 kids under the age of 2, that story is hard to relate to. But if I just say I have 3 children, everybody can relate. Not everybody, but a lot more people can relate to that. She says, when you make it extreme, it makes it harder to connect to people. Okay. Or they think she's superwoman. I can't do that. Okay. So that's kind of one of the reasons I would leave 5 instead of 8. Then you go, not only are you getting 5, you're getting 8. Isn't that exciting? You're ahead for the next day. Okay. Or however you want to say it. So that's why I would leave it 5. Okay. What area of your face would you like to improve and tighten your skin? So that one's a little more politically correct than, when I said shrink. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you like to strengthen and lengthen your nails and hair? What part of your day what part of the day is your energy the lowest? What do you currently use to boost your energy? What's one area of your health you'd like to improve? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you with your current weight? Okay, because it doesn't usually go very well if, are you feeling fat? So can you see all the questions? Yeah. I once heard someone that said, yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. Sidetrack. So can you see how all these questions, what you want to do is get in the habit of keeping these questions really close, okay? Put them in your car, put them on your desk, put them on your computer, put them close to your phone. Keep these questions really close. And then you had that third one. If there's one area of your appearance that you can improve, that would, enhance your confidence or make you feel better, what would be that one thing you'd love to do? And everybody has the most bizarre answers. There's somebody that doesn't like their feet. There's somebody that, if I paint my toenails, I feel sexy. Why? What does that have to do with anything? I don't know. That's just my funny thing. I like my toenails painted, right? And everybody has their thing. And yep, there we go. And it's really more my toenails than my fingernails. Don't ask me why. I know. See, I have really short fingers. I hate it when I have fingernails on. I haven't had them on for a long time. I need them put back on. I probably won't do green though. Sorry, gals.
Why not? This is St. Patrick's Day.
Here we go. I was raised with a beautician as a mom. As green was a really, really bad sign with nails. That meant fungus. So I just can't mentally do it. I just can't. That was the joys of being raised by a beautician. Yeah, really bad sign. So these questions need to be like your best friend. I would really like Rochelle. Okay, I shouldn't say it like that. I was gonna say if I were you, but that's not. Just an idea as a leader, getting people to role play and get so they can say these questions in their, because they're going to tweak a couple words. Everybody has a few different things they're going to say, but give an incentive. Or if you role play with 1 person on the team, 2 people on the team, 3 people on the team, the more you role play, the more your name goes in for drawing or something like that. Get people practicing these questions. Okay. Especially if they're going to do a booth, if they're out and about blitzing, if they're talking to people on Facebook, these questions need to be like, they got to hang on to these tight, because every place they go, when they start talking about the product, they need to stop and slow down and make sure these questions come out, because you have this really, you have this very unique company It's not Mary Kay, and it's not only weight loss, and it's not, I mean, you've got this wide variety of interesting things that you sell. And it's not just going to be known, you know, who wouldn't walk your Target if you had one of those bags that said Mary Kay on it or something? Everybody knows yourself. It works. What in the heck's that? So if someone was to ask you, I don't want anyone talking about the company first, you say, well, hey, let me ask you a couple quick questions. If you could tone, tighten, and firm one area of your body, what would you, which part would you pick? What do you do to get in 5 fruits and vegetables? And if you had one area that you could make you feel you improve in, that would make you feel just a little bit more attractive, what would that be? Well, let me tell you a little bit about what we have. Then you tell them about those products. And if they don't care about those things, that's why we have 8 questions, so that we can ask a couple of their questions in case those 3 don't fit with somebody. But believe me, if they get at least through those 3 questions, it's going to be far better than just cell vomiting. Does that kind of make sense? Like, it could be a really fun activity. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay. But getting them to role play, I've been having people role play in my groups, and boy, they're learning a lot, and it's really helping, really making a huge difference, because they can feel what's going on, and they're getting the feedback from the person they're talking to. And even asking, like, one of the things I do is somebody will come up with a question, and I'll say, well, you tell me how it feels when I say it back to you. And it's funny, the reactions will be like, either that was really good, or oh my gosh, that was horrible, or it's good for the other person to repeat it back and hear what it is they said. So role playing really makes a huge, huge difference. Okay. So we want them to understand that a lot of trust is built when people feel like they're being heard and listened to. Okay. And people that we trust, we buy from. We don't buy from the person who sells vomits, right? Would you all agree that the car salesperson that just blah, 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 you want this car? Okay, that is not who we buy from. We buy from the person who listens and cares about us. Now, this is the thing. I know that every person I work with, it doesn't matter if it's this company or Mary Kay or Unique or, insurance, it doesn't matter what it is, okay? They all really care about the people that they're talking to. Absolutely care. They want to help them. They want them to have the service because they know how it's going to tweak that one area of their life that they can be helpful with. And so I don't want anyone to ever doubt that I know that you care about people. It's just, think about it. When people are talking to us and they sound like salespeople, don't we instantly assume that they only care about themselves and making money?
Yeah.
Right? That's the assumption that comes off. And so even though that's probably not true about any of you, I mean, I feel like I attract people who really care about the people that they're talking to. I don't attract the salesperson that's just trying to make money, okay? But it just doesn't come off that way if we don't slow down and ask questions first. Then it shows how much you care about them, okay? So when we ask questions, you definitely have much more loyal customers. And the other thing that's amazing is you can tell them about, I know kids love that. Oh, look at my TV. I'm on the computer. One of the things that's interesting is that, oh, now I lost my train of thought. Your boy was just too cute. Stay around longer. Oh, I know what it was. Okay. So it's real tempting to get people interested in that go to your most popular product. All right. It's a little bit harder because I can't think of the perfect reason why somebody wouldn't, with like the mascara, for example. Some people just don't wear mascara or are allergic to it or have some reason they wouldn't wear it. Your wrap thing, I can't necessarily think of like a specific like reason they couldn't use it, but there might be a product that's better suited for them to start with. The wrap thing could be more of an impulse buy that they take home and never use, but maybe they really would use the greens from the start because it's something they feel like they really need. So when we ask these questions and we reveal what's most important to them, that's why that last question I've worked so hard to come up with if there was one area that you improved in that would make you feel more attractive, that way, instead of if they said, oh, I just hate how thin and short my hair is. Well, guess what? You don't start with the wraps. You would start with the hair and nails. Or, you know, something about their skin, or, you know, you have several different products that focus on how people feel and how they look. Or maybe they're going to talk about the wrinkles around their eyes. You know, we assume that everybody's just going to say, I want to feel thinner. But it's not 100% of Americans that are overweight. And some people love feeling full and voluptuous. Sometimes that's not what they're going to say. So if you really listen to what they need and you start with the product they need, then you're much more likely to get repeat business and then upsell. So let me give you a little example. My first company I sold with was scrapbooking, okay? And I could get anyone excited about the products and stamping and cutting and paper and, oh, the watermelon paper is so cute. I think I'll now go take a picture of my kid eating watermelon because I have watermelon paper instead of the other way around. This is the memory I have. You know, we went to the beach. I'm going to buy beach paper. Like, I could get people excited about stuff, okay? That I definitely could do here's the 16 reasons you need this little product, okay? I could play that game. But when I stopped and I started saying, if you could preserve 3 memories, just 3 memories, let's say for some reason your memory is going to go blank in 30 days from now, unless you take that cool memory stuff that y'all have, okay? But, you know, 3 memories, what would it be? And they told me what those 3 memories were, and we bought that stuff for those. Guess what? They used it, and they bought more, and it didn't go into the closet. And guess what? They're repeat buyers, and you got referrals because of it, because they actually use the product. When you head straight for your most popular product, and if they buy it because it's an impulse buy versus they really, really want it or need it, you're not as likely to have them use it and then have repeat business. Can you see how amazing that is and how key that is? Okay, you actually can increase your business, your just overall sales by anywhere from 25 to 50%, simply by making sure they take home something that they're going to use tomorrow, okay, versus an impulse buy. So those are just some things to think about. Now, please make sure you're using these questions on social media. When you're posting, like a lot of you post a lot of really fun before and afters and results that people have from using some of these products, right? Okay, that's kind of one of your go-to things. It gets conversation, creates curiosity, it makes people kind of go, what's that? Whether they like or comment. So one of the things you want to do when somebody asks you about it, you want to say, hey, could I ask you a couple quick questions first? We have several fun things. I want to make sure I tell you about the thing that's the best fit for you. And then you ask them some of these questions, okay? How many of you have been talking to somebody on Facebook and the conversation died and you didn't know why? Just stopped.
Many times.
They quit replying. Okay, so let me tell you a secret. Go back and look at every conversation that died and see what the last thing was you said. Was it a statement or was it a question? Same with when you're texting and private messaging anywhere. You want to make sure that whatever you tell them, because sometimes we do have to say what it's made of or how much it is or where you buy it, but you always want to then end with a question. Don't tell them that information and expect them to go, oh, okay, I'll go there and order 3 boxes. That's what we're all hoping will happen. And seldom does it happen, right? It does once in a great moon, but not all the time. So we want another question so that they'll respond to. Okay? When you do question after question after question, they just hate to leave it hanging. They have more of a desire to respond. Okay? So make sure you're doing that. Really look at both your text messages and your messages on Facebook. They'll keep going. If you give little bits of information, ask another question. Little bit of information, ask another question. It keeps going back and forth, and then the goal should always be to get them on the phone. Well, you know what? Let's talk about your situation. I think we could do this a little faster. Can I give you a quick call? And then you're much more likely to close the deal. Rochelle, I know you're pretty good at trying to get them on the phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
or at least a meeting in person.
Oh yeah, if you live close enough.
Yeah.
You crack me up. You're one of the few people that do so much online but still have a huge percentage. Not all. I know, Sue. You're the sweet child who like lives in this other state. But the majority of your people live so close. I find that fascinating because I wouldn't say that is the norm. People that do so much on social media. Kind of funny. Okay, so wherever you're at, wherever you're private messaging and using social media, please, 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 when people make a comment, make sure you're asking questions. Like I even had someone, I was just trying to be nice, someone that I know, she just started selling the Jamboree nails. And so there was a picture and I hit like, well, she messaged me and she does this thing where she brings you one Jamboree and you paint 4 of the nails and then you put one. Is it called a wrap? Now I'm like, so like
it's a nail wrap.
Nail wrap, okay. And where you put the nail wrap on one and then paint the others, and then you take a picture before and after. And so she messaged me and she says, would you like to try that? Now, what if she had stopped and asked me, how often do you paint your nails? Do you like patterns? What kind of things do you do with your nails? She knows my daughter has crazy long nails. What if she'd asked me a couple questions versus just ask me if I wanted to try that?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. It's funny how sometimes I tell you an example of a different company and you'll hear it different than when it's your own. I think sometimes we're a little territorial of our own companies.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, never. I know. You would never do that. It's because you love it. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about how to teach your people to share products with friends and family. Okay. It will make a big difference. All right. So we want to get them asking questions from the beginning. What we want to do is first, we really need to teach them that, guess what? That friends and family you're going to talk to, they're not as excited as you are. They have no idea what you're talking about. And if you act overly excited, you're going to come off like a salesperson. And so we've got to keep it kind of like be at the level that the person is you're talking to. If they're fun and upbeat, you can be fun and upbeat. But if they're pretty serious, you got to kind of be serious and bring it down. Okay? So that's the first thing that a brand new person needs to know, because sometimes they're just, woo! Okay? That doesn't always work. Rochelle kind of pulled it off, but you know, it doesn't always work for everybody. All right. So that's the first thing, is just explaining that to them. Please realize that if you're overly excited, you may come off like a salesperson. And what we want to do is first say, hey, I'm excited about this thing, but you know what? It's not a good fit for everybody, and that's okay. But could I ask you a couple of questions just to see if this is something I should tell you more about? Okay? We want to give the other person permission to realize, you know what? We're going to have the same conversation whether you tell me no or not. All right? And that is perfectly fine both for someone who's brand new that you're just meeting or for friends and family. But I've heard so many stories of people saying, wow, I don't have the same relationship with friends and families that I did before I started selling this. And especially if someone's changed companies a couple times, that seems to make it like domino. It even makes it about 10 times worse. But it's really important that we just say, you know what, you may not be as excited as I am, and that's okay. Because that preserves the relationship and brings down the walls. Because people kind of put up these walls when they feel like they're being sold, right? We're like, we got to be strong. We got to be able to say no, okay? And we bring it down for them when we go, it's okay if you don't want to do this. But can I ask you a couple quick questions? So that's where we teach them these questions, okay? I have generic ones over here, but you have a couple questions. So as you're going through questions and you find those ones that are your favorite, we have those 3 that we've come up with that you can put on your wallpaper of your phone as the wallpaper on your phone. But if you want to change them up or tell them to try a couple different ones, that's okay too. Okay, so give them a couple questions to ask. And then one of the things I like to, you can kind of, if there's someone that is good at communicating, you can kind of do this follow-up. Well, hey, what are you using for that right now? How are you liking it? How well is it working? Would you be open to just seeing something new? Okay. Or we just say, gosh, you know what? It sounds like something I have might be something you need. Is there any way you'd be willing to come to, I usually like to give them what's called an optional close. Can I show it to you one-on-one, or would you like to come to this group thing? So whether you're hosting a party, or Rochelle, do you ever do things where people can bring clients and you're kind of showing product?
I am actually going to set something like that up because we've got, the new energy drink and stuff. So I want to do like some tasting parties and stuff like that to get people familiar with them. So yeah, I do want to do that.
Awesome. So whether someone's holding their own open house, or as leaders, you're creating an opportunity where, okay, you met someone at a Blitz, you can either invite them to my house, or you can do a one-on-one with them, or I'll even help you with a 3-way call. Do you know what I mean? There's different options you can give them. So teach them how to do optional close. If they're not interested, they need to learn these 2 words. I understand. That's it. When they say that, it diffuses the whole thing. Everybody's more comfortable. And then they need to know, go to a conversation you would have talked about anyway. Are you going to talk about Easter? Would you talk about, someone's anniversary? Would you talk about the lovely weather? Would you talk about, what you have going on with your kids? What would you have talked about anyway? It's that dead silence. It's, they've said, no, I'm not interested. And then they don't know what to say. And then they don't talk to them for 3 weeks. That's where we kill relationships. Absolutely kill relationships, is when we don't go to the next conversation and we act like we're devastated that they don't love what we love. Okay. So that's what they need to learn, is to what to do instead. Okay. Because they're not taught that. They're just taught, go talk about your product, which that's a place to start. You need to go talk about your product, but ask the questions and go back to a neutral conversation after you've talked about it. Then those relationships will be preserved. And tell them, guess what? They're not going to all be interested. And it's totally okay, because I'm going to teach you how to find customers outside your friends and family after this. No big deal. It's just a place to get started. Okay. Rochelle, how do you see that affecting the people that, as you bring in new recruits?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I've got a whole page of notes here already, and I'm just oh my gosh, everybody needs to learn this, because seriously, the whole I understand and moving on to something else is huge, because there's been so many times that people, they're like, oh, well, the only thing she wants to talk about is her business, and then they don't talk to you anymore. They unfollow you on Facebook, that sort of thing. So that whole I understand and moving right on is so huge. So huge.
Yep. Yeah. And it's small. It's tiny. It's just being it's just being politically correct. But some people get a no and they just shut down and they don't know what to do. Yeah. They're not bad people, and they really didn't mean to act like I'm only going to love you if you buy my product. But that's how it comes off if we don't move on to the next subject. Does that make sense? It's the impression. When we sell vomit, we're giving them an impression that we're salespeople and we don't care about anybody else but us. That's not what you're thinking. That's not who you are. All of these things are misunderstood impressions that we give in network marketing when we don't do it this way.
Right.
Look at that little boy. We have all sorts of little boys. You see yourself, little man? So cute. Okay, so all these little tweaks make it so you're either your recruit who's kind of dead, or if you're feeling kind of stuck, or a new recruit you bring on, these little tweaks make it so people keep going and they have a better understanding of just how the sales thing works, instead of just go tell people. And the thing is, not everybody is as comfortable with kind of getting themselves out there and talking to everybody. And there's some people that just aren't as comfortable with just kind of flowing with things. Like, Rochelle, I'm going to dare say that you can take a no and move on to the next person, and it doesn't faze you as much, and probably didn't a whole lot at the beginning. Whereas someone else who's really shy, they get a no, and oh, it's just devastating. and it's harder for them to move on. And so they need to be told how to move on. And not everybody can roll with things as well as you can. And we just have to know that. And we have to tell them how to do that. Okay? So out of all the things that you learned tonight, so let's start up here with Sue. What is the thing that like clicked for you tonight that you go, ooh, you know what? I'm going to apply this or do this different? Or an aha moment?
Aha moment. The continual questions. I still have my issues with that. And now that I have this list, the list you emailed me the other day, that's going to make life easier.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Questions.
Perfect. So just so you know, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, every company I work with, I'll have a little thing online. It'll be a product you can download. It will give you the top 12 questions for your products. It will give you a couple drawing slips, like one for a bridal fair, one for a women's expo. You'll get a couple wallpapers to be able to download on your phone or on your computer. You're going to have several things that are just for your company so that they're helpful tools instead of the generic stuff I have to send out to everybody and you create your own questions. So we'll have questions created for every company on there so you can just buy them and they're yours. So that's something that we're going to be working on in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully that will be helpful. Will that be helpful, Sue?
Absolutely.
Like, quit making me try to write my own questions.
I just really suck at it. That's the problem.
No. It's just that it takes practice. Totally just takes practice. That's all.
Oh, I know.
Yep.
I know.
Because you laughed, you saw that Rochelle like sells ton, and I sent you the email that showed you Rochelle's questions and my tweaks.
Right.
I mean, Rochelle's amazing at this, and she goes, Michelle, why do you make this look so easy? Because I ask questions. It's okay. This just takes practice. You haven't been doing it this way before now. That's all it is. It just takes practice.
And I also haven't been doing it long. It's only been 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. So be nice to yourself. It's all good. And you've invested in yourself in getting better at this. It's all good. Okay,
nice to myself? I don't know how to be nice to myself.
Be nice to yourself, yes. Be nice to yourself. Go wrap yourself. So Wendy, your aha moment.
I really like the 5 fruits and vegetables a day question because I actually can see myself using that in the line at the grocery store.
I like it.
We kind of had that conversation before. I was thinking, how would I turn a conversation in line into, a blitz or whatever.
Right. I like it.
Vegetables, then that one I could probably work with.
I like hearing how brave you are. I'm impressed. That's exciting. Well done. Brandy, are you there, my friend? Not sure she's there. We'll go over here. Hey, Sarah.
Nope.
Go ahead. Can I hear you? Go ahead and talk. Here, I'll unmute you. There you go. Now try. Oh, no, you're muted again. Okay, now you're muted. Go ahead and talk, hun. Oh, shoot. For some reason, we're not hearing you.
We can't hear her.
I don't know why. Okay, who's on the phone that says 3472? Sierra. Go ahead and chat.
Hi.
Hi, Sierra. What was your aha moment?
Well, I just got on late, but mine was the questions, asking the questions, letting it end with the questions, and making them feel like it's about them. I like that a lot.
Awesome. Awesome. So what will you do different? What's your favorite question?
What best fits you? So what would you use to better yourself?
Awesome. 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 Okay. Sarah, can we hear you? Go ahead and talk. I don't know why we don't have sound from you.
I don't know. She's in her car.
I know, it's way weird. It might be in driving mode. Let me unmute it. Hang on. I'm going to mute it. Try to talk again. No, we'd hear her car and background noise if...
Yeah.
I don't know why you don't have sound, girlfriend. Did you like the class? Give me a thumbs up. Did you learn something new? Yay. You can message me later and tell me what you learned.
You have pen and paper? You can write us a note and hold it up?
Let's see. Okay, Brandy, I'm unmuting you. Are you there, darling?
Yeah.
So what was your aha moment?
I liked the questions as well. I couldn't write them down fast enough, but
There's an agenda floating out there.
Sue has it. Sue, maybe you can copy it and post it in the team page for us.
Absolutely.
that would be awesome.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry. And if you go to the website and still sign up for the class, just know for some reason it says thank you for signing up for the unique class. It's not. You will still get an automated response that says thank you, and it sends you the agenda, and then you'll get the recording link. Okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. So,
So I'm waiting for Sarah to text me her aha moment. That she's in driving mode.
she's in driving mode. Yeah, that's probably why it's not letting her talk. Okay. Any other aha moments for you, Rochelle, my friend?
I really like the whole your friends and family are not going to be as excited about this as you, and you need to calm that down a little bit and, ask those questions, because for me, I don't care. I'm all over it.
We
There's a lot of
know.
right? There's a lot of people that, they don't have the same personality as me. And, just being able to let them know that, friends and family, they might not be as receptive as this or with this as you want them to be. And that's okay.
Right. Yep. Because how many people, like Wendy and Rochelle, I know you've recruited a lot. I don't know about the other gals here. I don't know them as well.
Randy just got a new one today.
Who did?
Randy.
Woo! Yay. But this is the thing. If you don't explain this to them at week 3.5, that's what happens. They get their kit, and then they get going, and they're all excited. And if they don't have stuff on their calendar to do in the future and have some success, at 3.5 weeks, their fear goes up higher than their excitement, and they don't care how cool that kid is. They ain't talking to nobody.
Right.
Right? Who's seen that happen with people? It's literally week 3.5. It's not 3, and it doesn't go all the way to 4. It's 3.5. They better have something good happening, or it's done.
It's very true. Very true.
It's ugly. Ugly. So one of the things, just in case you didn't know, on my website, there's a new recruit packet that you can download for $30, and then you can email it to your team. And the cool thing about that is it starts out with goal setting, which that's a whole nother class in itself. But you always need to do goal setting first and teach them how to ask questions from the very beginning, so then they have a more successful experience. So that's a tool that you can use with your team members. And when you download it, you have the licensing rights to share it with your team members, but not anyone else. Okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
That's what that's there for. All right. Anybody have any other questions? Anything I can help you with?
I have
Hi.
a question, but
Yeah.
I have Sarah's aha moment.
Yay. What was it?
The questions, how you don't want to end the conversation with a statement. She said she's had
That's a good
so
one.
many conversations where people are interested and then the conversation just died.
Yep.
So
Go back
asking
and
questions.
go back and look at them. I will bet you money that bam, 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 you're going to see a whole bunch of ended statements, and you're going to go, no wonder they didn't respond. What were they going to say to me next? Because we're all hoping they'll go, well, that sounds great. Hook me up and order me some. We have to ask if they actually want to order some, and we have to make sure we get to know them well enough to make sure we understand their needs. So good job. Well done.
Task for tomorrow.
So in case you didn't know, so Rochelle and Wendy have been taking a 90-day challenge with me. Wendy, how's it been going for you? What have you liked about it? Did it get you out of your comfort zone?
A little bit. Yeah. There's a lot's been happening lately. I don't know if it's coincidence or what.
So what good's been happening? How have you been able to implement some of these things?
I'm just really still focusing on the whole goal thing and writing things down.
There's a lot of miracles.
That's like back from the first class, but that's pretty much what I focus on right now.
Cool. When you're in the habit of writing down your goals, you definitely get more of what you hope will happen. And then you accompany it with like these questions and you put it together. It's pretty exciting what happens. So we teach you how to do goal setting really effectively, and then we do questions. And we have questions whether you're talking to people in a group, whether you're talking to people one-on-one, whether you're finding brand new customers. We have good ways for you to tweak your phone calling skills. We teach you how to overcome fears. There's a whole bunch of fun things with the 90-day challenge. So if that's something you'd like to decide, you know, hey, I wonder if this would be a good fit for my business and help me take it to the next level, all you got to do is let me know, hey, Michelle, give me a quick buzz, and we'll chat about your goals and see if this class would be a good fit. And it's just fun. It's really amazing to see people's goals and how they develop. And it's just exciting. I've seen some people do some really amazing things in just 6 weeks. Now, this class is for 12 weeks. It's a 90-day challenge. It's 3 months. It's on Zoom like this, 1 hour a week. And they're all recorded. So if you ever miss any, you can watch them. Or if you want to go, how did Michelle say that? You can go back and watch it again. Okay, that's part of the perks of it. And it's $110 a month, or just 3 months, or you can save $30 and it's only $300. And you definitely make your money back. If you do any of this, you make your money back because you get the sales, you find the customers. It's really fun. So some of you aren't current customers right now. So Brandy, Sarah, or is it started with an S? Who was on the bottom? Sierra. Or Sue. Do any of you want a quick little conversation with me just about your goals with your business and see if that 90-day challenge would help you take your business to that level you want to go to next?
Oh, it definitely will. What night of the week is it?
It's going to be Tuesdays. Yep. Want a quick chat? It's okay.
Oh, no, I'm doing it anyway. I don't need you to chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to just get my butt over to the website and do it.
Sue just took a 4-week what's called master class with me. So that's why she's saying that. So yeah, I know what she's saying. We did a finding new customers class and she got some new ideas and booked some expos, and she's on her way. She has some good things coming up in her future. So it's awesome.
Good job.
Woohoo! That's exciting.
It's very exciting. So she's got some good things going. We had to do some brainstorming that wasn't always comfortable, but she did it. It was fun.
Comfortable? Me? Out of my comfort zone?
Yeah.
Nah.
People are taking from her some nights. That's okay. I have them all recorded.
It's all right.
I want to see it. Money. I want to see it.
She wants blackmail money.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I'm from New Jersey, honey. We will bury you. And my husband delivers concrete for a living.
Oh, that's on recording too. So if Michelle comes up missing,
that's a new one.
That's cement shoes.
I better sell more wraps, or that's it, Michelle. You've had it.
Oh my gosh.
Alrighty. Okay, perfect. Anyway, anyone up brave enough to have a chat with me? I promise I'm really nice. I'm lots of fun.
Oh, she is. She's very nice. Very nice.
Even when I'm pushing you out of your comfort zone just a little bit, Sue.
Hey, Jillian is a success story.
Yes, she is. She was terrified the first day she was on, wasn't she?
Yeah. She even looks better.
Yeah, she does. Last week, this gal, it was just a 4-week class. She went to, I am terrified to talk to anyone, to talking to 20 new people in 1 week. just after 4 weeks of class. It was pretty.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart too. Nice
Yeah.
lady.
She's very
Well,
sweet. Very, very sweet. Awesome. All right, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me. You're always welcome to message me if you want to have a chat with me. There's lots of free classes. You're welcome to go internet stalk me if I really have anything that interesting to talk about. Yes, Brandy, are you waving at me? No? Okay, guys. Thank you, Rochelle and Wendy. Thank you so much for promoting this class. Thank you for joining me tonight. It was a delight. And
Thank
what
you.
I'll do is I will start a page on my website just for It Works classes that will be password protected, and you guys can go watch this again, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Bye, Landon.